Hi, hopefully you watched our first video which introduces you to Sushi Go Party. If you haven't, this is now the time to do it. It shows you all the components of the game and how to set up your first game. In this video, we're actually going to show you the game itself. So you might be better off just watching the first one so you're familiar with all the parts. Now, before we start the game, just want to show you in the first video we referred to how the box has got all the components. We have tidied away all the cards that we don't need for this game, and this is what it would look like. We have got our setup board with all the menu components, and we have put 2 pawns because we're going to play a 2-player game. So I'll just hand this over for my assistant while I carry on the setup. So first of all, this is all the game cards that relate to the menu cards. And first of all, you really need to shuffle them up really hard and well. I have now done some shuffling in preparation before this video started, so that should be sufficient. Now, Sushi Go Party, a whole game consists of 3 rounds. You start with a full deck of cards which relate to your menu options, and at the end of each round you also shuffle in a number of dessert cards. How many number of dessert cards you shuffle in depends on how many players there are. In the booklet it shows you, so in our case we will be shuffling in 5, 3 and 2 because we're in a 2-player game. For more players you shuffle in more dessert cards. At this point I will also show you that in the book again shows you how many cards you deal to each player at every round depending on the player. So in our game there will be 10 cards shuffled to each player at the start of a round. Okay, so I'm just going to shuffle in the dessert cards. So for the first round we have got 5 there, and we'll literally just put those in. Give a really good shuffle again. Make sure they're nicely distributed. That'll be fine for now. And then I'm going to deal 10 out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And for now, this pile just goes to the side along with the dessert cards, and each of our players pick up their 10 cards. Now we're just going to play this game open so you can see what happens. So these are my 10 cards. If my assistant wants to open yours as well, just so that we can see. And you have a look what's inside your card option. Now this is a strategic game. You need to think about what will give you the most points in each round. Now certain ones, so for example miso soup, will give you 3 if your opponent doesn't happen to play it in the same round. Tempura, if you get 2 at the end of the round, you get 5 points. Maki, whoever gets the most cards at the end of a round, gets 6 points. The second person gets 3 points. And then, green tea, if you get 4 of these cards by the end of the game, so desserts are not at the end of a round, they're at the end of a game, you'd get 12. My assistant has got some nigiri cards, so they've got points. Also got some sashimi, but you need to get 3 of those at the end of a round to get 10. And similar things. Tea is 1 per card in your biggest set. So there, if for example the player has got 3 of those, then you would do against those. Okay, so let's pretend that we haven't seen each other. My assistant, have a good look at your card, decide which one you would want to play. Now I'm just going to decide which one I'm playing, and then to start with you put that face down. So decide which one you're going to play and you put that face down. And at this point in time in the normal game your opponents won't have seen the first deck of cards. Once you've both decided, you both reveal your cards and you put them to the side wherever you're keeping your cards. And at this stage you swap deck of cards. So, oopsie daisy, let's pick that one up. So at this stage in a 2-player game, you now know what is in each hand. So you basically do the same thing, have a look at the cards, decide which one you want to keep. No scoring happens until the end of the round. Now, I'm going to just, basically, we're going to play this round. You keep swapping hands until all the cards are used up, and that will be the end of the round. Okay, so we have played the first round, and this is one player's cards here, and the other player's cards there. So next, at the end of each round, you do your scoring. So if we start with this player, they have got 3 miso soup cards. They are 3 points each, so they move on the board to 9. So I'll pop that there. They have 3 of those cards. They also have 3 nigiris, but let's have a look at the scores. 1, 2, and 3, so altogether 6. So that takes them from 9 to 15. Maki, they've got 1 card. The opponent has got 2, so they've come second. They get 3 points for that. Desserts are counted at the end of the full game, so not at the end of the round. And they also have a tea card, which means they get 1 point per card in their biggest set. Their biggest set was 3, so that means they get 3 points. 1, 2, 3. So they land on 21 at the end of that round. These cards can then be put to the side, and we're going to score the other player. 2 tempura cards give 5 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, dessert counts at the end. 1 miso soup, 3. Sashimi, you need to get 3 to get 10 points. The player's only got 1, so it's 0. 1 salmon nigiri, 2 points, so it makes them up to 10. They got the most maki cards because they got 2. The other player only had 1, so that's 6 points, taking them up to 16. And a tempura is worth nothing, so they'll end on 16, the other person 21. Second round, because we have 2 players, we mix in 3 dessert cards. So again, we do the same thing for round 2 as we did for round 1. Okay, so we're just going to pause the video at this stage, and we're going to play round 2 and round 3 in the same manner. In round 3, we will be mixing in 2 dessert cards for a 2-player game. So we will be back with you at the end of round 3. So we are just starting round 2. There's our scoring from round 1. So this is the deck of cards from our last round, the 3rd round. So we're going to score this player first. They got 3 sashimis, so they get 10 points. So go from 40 to 50. They actually... So for Maki, this player got 1. The other player got 4. So in this case, they score 3. So move on to 1, 2, 3, 53. Now on this one, they used a wasabi card, which would meant that their next nigiri was worth 3 times as much. So that means it's 9 points for that particular one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Another 3 for those 2. 1, 2, 3. And we'll come back to the desserts in one moment. This other player got the most maki cards, so they get 6 points for that. A miso soup worth 3 points. Nigiri, 1, 2 plus 3, so that's 6 altogether. And they had 1 tempura card, which is worth nothing because you need at least 2 to score 5 points. So that is the ordinary cards at the end of round 3. And as it's the end of the game, because we have 3 rounds in each game, we now look at the dessert cards. In this particular game, you have the green tea ice cream dessert card, which means you need 4 to get 12 points. This player has got 4. This player's got 3. Now the reason why this player took the 5th card was a strategic decision, because obviously they didn't need it, but by taking the 5th card, they stopped the other player getting the 12 points. So Yellow player gets another 12 points, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Whereas poor player who had these gets nothing. So our purple player ends on 47, and our yellow player has gone all the way past 60, 75, 77. So we have a big difference. It's a really, really fun game. Really quick, probably took us about just under 20 minutes to play the 3 rounds. So it's really good, really quick and really fun. Hope you enjoy yours. Bye.
Bye.